nothing can move you.
Hey, good day, good day. Welcome to another episode of Bobby Brown Show on the GO. I'm your host, Bob TV, better known as Bobby Brown. It's my prerogative. Let me stop. Today I want to talk about an article that I saw today. I thought was shameful. It goes right along with the article I talked about Texas trying to hinder the voting process. Trying their best to keep you from voting. Making every freaking excuse in the book on why we need to change the laws to restrict voting. Folks, when you're trying to tighten up your grip in this country instead of loosening your grip to better the country, you're a coward. And the Republican Party are cowards in the state of Texas. Don't get me wrong. Democrats have their cowardness stands when people are pushed off the rolls. They don't want to take the time, investment, or money to try to put people back on the rolls. And that's where Stacey Abrams came in. And now they want to try to do that. Now they see the results. But they still don't want to use the DNC money to do that they get from you people who give them money. I don't give them jack. Because I'm not a registered Democrat, never will be. I don't care what kind of boogeyman you put in my face. I'll always find somebody better than that person. And I can find somebody better than you. Now, if you don't know who that person is, you're not supporting that person, then that's on you. That's not on me. But I knew in 2016, at that time when I first found out about the Bernie Sanders movement, I knew he was better than Clinton and Trump. Problem with that he was too much of a punk to go independent because he made this PAC. I don't give a crap about no PAC. You think Donald Trump would have listened to a Republican PAC if they shunned him out of the election and rigged the election against him? Man, he ain't thinking about no Republican PAC. Anyway, that's not the story today. All right, so we're going to get into this particular story. Give me a moment. All right, so this is MSNBC. How dare you? Kentucky Democrats lash out over bill criminalizing police insults. And the bill passed the state Senate. So you're going to criminalize me using my freedom of speech to cuss you out, call you a pig, call you a mark, call you race soldiers. Let's read this. The Kentucky State Senate passed the bill Thursday evening. Let me repeat that. The Kentucky State Senate passed the bill Thursday evening. Let me say it one more time. The Kentucky State Senate passed the bill Thursday evening to enhance penalties for crimes relating to rioting after more than an hour of heated debate, including criticism that it would criminalize insulting police officers, not criminalizing the cops who insult the people by cussing them out, by exerting their power, choking them and pulling them out the car, putting their neck and knee on their neck. You're going to sit there and pass a law in the Senate to criminalize insulting the police. Who in the hell are the police? They work for me. I pay taxes. They work for me. And who in the hell are you to do something like that? I very rarely I don't use the word bitches, but these bitches, punk bitches in Congress, in the state Senate in Kentucky, care more about protecting police officers' feelings than protecting the people in Kentucky from police brutality and police overreach. You're going to actually pass a bill to criminalize people insulting police officers. Boy, and you see why people get mad and do stupid stuff like they did at the Capitol? Now, they had a dumb reason to do it. They did it for a man who could care less about you. That man's back home. He's back in Mar-a-Lago, sitting on his gold toilet, ain't thinking about you guys. He's just looking for a next way to pimp you guys. But as soon as we link up and sit in front of the Capitol and doors and keeping you from opening the Capitol doors, you want to drag us to jail. You want to mace us. You want to beat us down. You want to, if you could, you would sick dogs on us like you used to do. But the Humane Society got on the United States about that. I got to read this again, man, because this is crazy. The Kentucky State Senate passed a bill Thursday evening to enhance penalties for crimes relating to rioting related to rioting after more than an hour of heated debate, including criticism that it would criminalize insulting police officers and chill protected free speech. So here you are, you got these redneck, red state, red Republicans, and I'm quite sure some Democrats in Kentucky probably did it in a bipartisan way. It's probably like 5 Democrats that say, I'm not signing that crap, but it probably was 15 that sided with the Republicans. I'll investigate it, and we'll take a look at it at a later date, to be continued. Criminalizing free speech. See, that's why TYT are a bunch of pussies and other network, because they're trying to tell you you shouldn't be able to say that. I should be able to say what the heck I want to say. Let me deal with the consequences. Now, I'm not advising you at the airport and you see this girl and her butt all outside and, and you're like, God, dog. Her butt look like 2 black bombs from Angry Bird. You can't say bomb in the airport. Let's play this.
Devastated and outraged and confused and bewildered, just like all of us.
This nation is learning that our...
All right, I'm having some technical difficulties, so let's keep going. See, when you get the names of these people, for you to ignore this and not blow their phone up, not to blast them out on social media, not to go over to their office, not to go in front of their house. I'm not saying go in the house, but go to the neighbor and go in front of the house. Be willing to go to jail for it. I mean, you got to be willing to go to jail, take a couple of clubs upside the head for this. You got to be willing to risk your life for this. Instead of criminalizing police overreach, they want to criminalize you because you hurt their little poor cop. I'm sorry they said that. I'm sorry they called you a pig. We gonna pass a bill. We ain't gonna let that happen to you. And one of the person did is Senator Denny Carroll from Benning, Kentucky. A retired police officer said his bill 211 will crack down on and send a message to those who try to destroy the city of Louisville. Nobody's trying to destroy the city of Louisville, fool. Now, we may go after that poverty line. So for rioters who threw Molotov cocktails at a car and broke into a window and stuff like that, yeah, you're going to be criminalized. But remember, doctors say what rioters are? Just people pissed off and fed up, and that's the only way they could take out their anger? Because you're not doing what you're supposed to do right. Do right by the people. You ain't got to worry about that stuff. But understand this, and just like I told everybody during the George Floyd incident, if you're going out there destroying property, be prepared to go to jail. See, Dr. King and most of the civil rights leaders was prepared to go to jail and prepared to be there a long time. You need people like that. And oftentimes we need to be willing to say, I'm willing to die for this thing. You cannot have real protests and a real revolution without being willing to put your life on the line or willing to go to jail. But to call insult police, you're going to criminalize free speech. That's a different thing. You're going too far. If I want to call you a dumb SOB, stupid mother, I should be able to do that. Either two things can happen. You hate I called you that and you punched me back, but you shouldn't be criminalizing that. In addition to raising punishment on crimes relating to rioting, not crimes relating to police brutality, but rioting, and prohibit early release on such offenses. So they want to make sure that if you go out there rioting, and see, understand this, you find a building that's burned up, you ain't had nothing to do with it because it happened here in New York plenty of time. You getting off of work, you in your security uniform, you getting off of work, you ready to go home, you happen to be in the area where a place got burned up. They'll take you to jail. Because when it comes to black people, let's find the nearest black person we can find and just charge him. I ain't got all day looking for the real dude. He might be white, and I ain't got time there. But let's get that black guy over there. Let's get him. Happens all the time, folks. Happen all the time. In addition to raising punishment on crimes relating to rioting and prohibiting early release on such offenses, SB 211 would make it a crime to provoke an officer verbally to the point it could provoke a violent response. Boy, I'm trying not to lose my mind. These idiots These numbnuts care more about an officer being verbally spoken to in a negative way. See, there's no such thing as provoke a violent response with words. So you want to be upset because their feelings got hurt. You believe that somebody may say something that's going to make him do violence. Well, then that fool don't need to be a cop. That fool don't need to be in any kind of public position. In addition to raising punishment on crimes relating to rioting, not relating to dealing with these police that's just off the chart, losing their mind, killing folks left and right, black people, rioting and prohibiting early release on such offenses, SB 211 would make it a crime. Now that is something. They're going to make it a crime to provoke an officer verbally to the point it could provoke a violent response. How can you judge this? These people can punch you in the face and just his word against mine. Let me calm down. This don't piss you off, people? I don't know what's wrong with you. This pisses me off. A cop can go in a lady house with a no-knock warrant and rat-a-tat-tat-tat till they run out of bullets. Kill the girl while she's naked. Boyfriend don't know what's going on. Who the heck are these people? I gotta protect me and my baby. And you want to throw him in jail. City get outraged and decide to do protests. And an incident after that, and the incident after that of harsh police brutality toward the public. And you care more about hurting some cops' feelings. Start the day smarter and get all the news you need in your life. Though Carroll said insulting the officer is not going to cause anyone to go to jail. You shouldn't even fine somebody. There should be no reason at all to criminalize somebody. To put this on somebody's record that he cussed the cop out. Call him a summum. His bill state a person is guilty of disorderly conduct. His bill state a person is guilty of disorderly conduct if he hurt an officer feeling with words. Who in the hell are you to determine what's orderly and what's disorderly? Who in the hell are you? You're disorderly. To tell the public that they can't walk around in their constitutional right? That's their constitutional right to do that. Free speech does not have its limit, but you can put it there. Honestly speaking, somebody yelling bomb at the airport, I mean, it's not smart to do, but you shouldn't be putting a restriction on that either. Well, it's disrupting. Then you deal with the dude for disrupting the place, but not because he said bomb. They're going to call this disorderly conduct a Class B misdemeanor with a penalty of up to 90 days imprisonment. So how are you going to say, and so the officer is not going to cause anyone to go to jail, but at the same side of your butt, say this is a Class B misdemeanor with a penalty up to 90 days imprisonment. And guess what? They're going to always lean toward the 90 days imprisonment, and that's when they're going to run ramshock on your behind while you're in jail. If he or she accosts, insults, taunts, or challenges a law enforcement officer with offensive and derisive words, or by gestures, or other physical contact. Let me stop there. You can call me all kind of names. You can be offensive to me as an officer, and you work for me. You can be derisive toward me. You can use gestures, and you can use physical contact toward me, and you get nothing? I don't have a right to defend myself. I have to just sit there and let the cops beat on me. Are you freaking kidding me? He said that would have a direct tendency to provoke a violent response from perspective of a reasonable and prudent person. Most of these police officers are not reasonable and prudent. They're on the edge, and I get it. My ex-wife was a cop. My ex-wife was a detective. I get it. You don't know when you coming home, let alone the pressure that your spouse might have, whether you coming home or not. But you don't know when you come, if you gonna come home. You go outside every day thinking that you can die, so you automatically on the edge. That don't mean you don't need to know how to control that. But you can be on the edge, and I can't be on the edge when you arrest me. Especially I know you're a particular cop in my neighborhood in town that loves to brutalize and beat up on black people, that he feel like he's untouchable, and you come my way, I ain't got no way to protect, I can't protect myself. Are you freaking kidding me? And see, these blue line, blue code people, they love this. That's right. Just do what the heck they tell you to do, and nothing wouldn't happen, dude. I ain't got to say nothing. I showed you the video of the dude who just operating in his rights as an American citizen, and the cops still doing things to him. You need to be reminded of Breonna. Anyway, the bill passed. God almighty. The bill passed, 22-11 vote. 6 Republicans joining Democrats to vote no. Thank you. All those Democrats who voted no and those 6 Republicans, thank you. Because this is unconstitutional. This is directly against free speech. Senator Gerald Neal, a Democrat who represented a majority black district in West Louisville, said he was insulted by Carroll's bill when he viewed as a direct attack on his constituents who protest for the demand of racial justice. Exactly. You're trying to find ways to try to do more harm, more brutal attack to us, claiming, well, the law is saying that you can't say nothing to me that can get me upset. Boy, you're gonna break. I'm gonna run you in for making me upset. You pussy. You coward. Mommy, I don't like what he said to me. I'm going in my room. Little bitch, man. This is a direct attack to black people. This is a direct attack to white people who supporting the Black Lives Movement, not the organization, the movement, and anybody else who participate. This is another hammer on my district. This is a backhand slap, and I resent it, and I personally resent it. And Ingrid Neal twice said, "How dare you?" calling the bill beneath this body. It is unwise, it is provocative, it's unnecessary, it's unreasonable. Neal added he was befuddled by the legislation as laws are already on the book to deal with violent rioters, saying it could harm the city's effort to come together and heal after tumultuous months of protests kicked off by the fatal police shooting of Breonna Taylor and probably getting off. I'm calming down. I'm just trying to calm down. The nerves. These are your politician, Louisiana. Your politician. This is unconstitutional. You're trying to give the police a reason to control us with brute force and lock us up for some of the dumbest reasons. I wink my eye at one, and they're going to say I insulted them with my eye. Man, if you don't go somewhere with that. There need to be a challenge to this. Civils, American Civils, Liberty Union, whoever need to challenge this. Meanwhile, law professors and attorneys said the bill violates the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment to the Constitution, including free speech, equal protection, and due process. And it does. But these are the same people hollering around, we're patriots. We uphold the Constitution. You can't even spell it. You don't even know what's in it. If it were passed, it's likely too vague and broad to uphold a conviction against an appeal, they said. And you should appeal it. And these people who come up with this bill need to be hog-tied and spanked. Yeah, I said it. If it were to pass, it's likely to vague. If challenged, the U.S. Supreme Court could rule based on vagueness, the vagueness doctrine, or the idea that a law is unenforceable if it's too vague for the average citizen to understand, said Godfrey Stone, a professor at the University of Chicago Law School. The bill would chill permissible protection speech because of a reasonable person wouldn't know what behavior was prohibited or permitted. Exactly. I can say, "Hi, officer," and you could be like, what you say, mother? What? You're going to jail. When you start putting criminal offenses on insulting a particular type of government employee, that law is going to be unconstitutional in all its application, said Michael Abate, a First Amendment attorney who has represented the Courier Journal, which is part of the USA Today network. It gives far too much discretion to individual police officers to make an arrest when their feelings are hurt. Exactly what I said. Yo, man, did you hear what he called you? I didn't hear nothing at all. He called you a stupid son of a... I didn't hear that. I'm going to arrest him. I didn't hear that. Well, I did. Abate says the bill present incredibly serious First Amendment problems that go far beyond what the Constitution would permit. Senate Bill 211 is so vague and so broad that someone could be criminally charged for saying they don't like the police, he said. I think it's dangerous because we see police already using existing laws to overcharge protesters. This new statute could open the door for them charging based on their own feelings and how threatened they perceive themselves to be. You don't need that job. Just admit it. This ain't for you. I told you last night, one of the most insulting thing to a white bigoted law enforcement officer is a black man who knows his right and executes his right and got the nerves to do it on live. Got the nerves to do it on live. Now, live, the cop can still act up and do their thing. But when you got an attorney on the phone that will threaten a lawsuit against that officer and he'll lose his immunity because he violated that person's right, that changed. I'm going to tell you a quick story. One day I was... I was coming from a business meeting and I was telling people about the program that we have to help protect people's rights and give them access to attorney that knows it, an attorney that knows every area of law. If you need a tax attorney, if you need a criminal attorney, if you need a medical attorney, we have one there to help you out. And yes, we do have a program that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on holidays, that if you're in a situation where you're dealing or being confronted by the police, you have a right to call your attorney and you can literally call one. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, he'll be there. And I always taught my class that you have a right to turn your signal on if you don't feel like it's safe for you to stop in a certain area. It's too dark. He'll be pissed off about it, but you have a right to that. And that give you extra time to have your attorney on the phone. When he gets to the car, just say, I know my amendment rights. I have a right to talk to my attorney. He's on the phone right now. Now, that cop can take the phone and throw it. But that attorney knows exactly where you are because he could probably either pick it up through the phone company, through GPS, or if you tell him where you at, what street you're stopping at, he can call the local police department and already get the motion that if you touch my client, I'm going to touch you with a big civil lawsuit. Your officer will lose his job. He will lose his immunity because he lost his rights. See, they don't like a person like that. Because 9 times out of 10, they're law enforcement officers and they don't even know the law. Most people don't know the law. That's why you have attorneys. And that's why you have different attorneys. But most people don't have access to that. And I try my best to make sure people have access to that. And no, I'm not selling that up here. Okay, stop that. That's going to be on my other channel on Monday nights. But let's continue with this. Abbey said the bill presently is incredibly serious. First Amendment problems that go far beyond what the Constitution will permit. And I think it's dangerous because we see police already use existing laws. We already went over that. Carroll stood by his bill amid criticism by Neal and other Democrats Thursday evening, saying the legislature would take the steps necessary to protect police officers and property in Louisville that Mayor Greg Fisher failed to take last year. See, Carroll is a white supremacist. How can you say that? Because these are what things that white supremacists do. White supremacists use the power of the pen. Smart, intelligent white supremacists use the power of pen to find laws that will suppress people of color. They know doggone well this is something that's going to suppress people of color from running their mouth, from free speech, and gives the police the authority to abuse them even more. He's a racist. He's a bigot, and he's a bona fide white supremacist. See, that's a whole nother level of bigotry and racism when you got somebody in power literally coming up with laws that's going to run the gamut on black people. That's what happened with Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders sitting up there signing the crap, talking about the Violence Against Women Act. That Violence Against Women Act was a scapegoat that all these politicians used to sign the crime bill that allowed the over-policing of blacks, that allowed the militarize of the police department, that allow police abuse without impunity. Democrats, Republicans, and even the CBC signed that legislation, but they used the Violence Against Women Act as an excuse. They ain't have to be an excuse. You could have took that out of the bill and did it separate. Just like you did with $15 minimum wage. You didn't even put that in the bill. These people dream of writing legislation to oppress and silence the community. It's mainly the black community. The silent majority in this state supports the legislation. Who is the silent majority? You're lying. You mean white racists? Silent majority? No, silent minority. They're as troubled by what has happened in this country, by what happened in Louisville, as I am. And I will not apologize for this bill because you're a racist, bigot, piece of trash, slime. What happened in Louisville was a bunch of cops went and killed an innocent woman butt naked in her house. And you're upset that the city is outraged about that and the cops are at fault. And the Louisville Police Department is at fault. I remember one time we had a layover in Louisville and I just hung out a little bit. I was going to move to Louisville. Right next to the bus station is some beautiful high-rise apartments. It was like $700 a month. And I had a friend that lived in Louisville, Kentucky, right off, I think, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, whatever. And Lane or something like that. And I decided to go down to the downtown, beautiful downtown area and get a bite to eat. And boy, the cost was on me. On me. On me. Let me hurry up. I'm almost done. According to the Courier Review data, Louisville Metro Police recorded 871 protest-related arrests, including 252 with at least one felony charge between May 29th and September 28th. Black people made up 53% of the total arrests and 69% of the arrests with the felony. He wants to push this law because, black people ain't going to take this. We cut your behind out. And if you put your hand on you, we liable to knock you out because you don't have no right to hit me. I don't care if you do have a badge. And you're using this as a way to taunt us and drive us to be in prison again. the new Jim Crow, private prison system. Girl said, well, just lock me up now. I can't help but insult this former Kentucky police officer. Yeah, just lock me up now, bro, because I'm not going to stop cussing him out. Senator Reggie Thomas, Democrat in Lexington, said the passage of the bill like SB 211 could overshadow the goodwill and positive racial justice work of the session to advance legislation banning certain no-knock warrants, giving subpoena power to Louisville Police Civilian Review Board and creating a new TIF district in West Louisville. Senator Morgan McGarvey, Democrat Louisville, criticized the section criminalizing taunting police, noting those arrested on such a charge must be held in jail for at least 48 hours. So how you going to say somebody's not going to go to jail? You lying sack of crap. A penalty that does not automatically extend to those arrested on murder, rape, arson in Kentucky. So people in Kentucky who, they don't get this. I can call you a pig and you get upset and you can hold me in jail for 48 hours. But yet you say the bill don't put people in jail. You're a liar. The bill shatters what we're working toward healing. McGarvey said, this furthers the divide and it puts us legally down a road where I cannot believe this body wants us to go. Yeah, you don't. Because all hell is about to break loose. When you try to silence black people, it ain't going to go well for you. We refuse to be silent. And the people who are supporting us, they better get ready. Don't buck and run. Because people are going to get tired of this mess. You keep hitting on a bulldog, that bulldog going to bite you, and you better hope you don't get a lock on you, because that's it for you, especially if you get a lock around your throat. Don't taunt. You're taunting the black community with this insulting bill, saying, we can arrest you if you look at me wrong and say the wrong thing. Are you freaking kidding me? Several Republican members to vote against the bill, including Senator Julie Rack Adams of Louisville, explained their opposition to the mandatory 48-hour hold and the provision on the insult or taunting police, hoping the House send back and amend the bill and strike those sections. People who sit there and think of legislation like this and are proud about it, trying to impress the boys in blue and trying to feed meat to their red base because a lot of them are blue line. People he called a silent majority. Fool, they're not a silent majority. Majority of people in Louisville ain't for that, including white people. Hell, 6 of your Republican Democrats voted against the bill. You are the one out of line. And again, people in Louisville, Kentucky, are you going to sit there and take that? They're trying to change laws to say you can't even upset a police officer, because if you do, they're going to send you to jail. This is that old Jim Crow back and before 65 bullcrap. I look at a white woman, I can get lynched and it'll be justified. What? You looked at me and I whooped your behind and I'm taking you to jail. You said the wrong thing. I wasn't even talking to you. I said I'm going to get some pig feet. You asked me where I'm going. I said I'm going to get some pig feet. No, you didn't, boy. You called me pig with big feet. You hurt my feelings. Now if I beat your behind, you're going to jail. Folks, I understand how you allow this. If this was going on in New York, I'll be out there. I'm telling you, I'll be out there. I'm not a fan of Andrew Yang. I'm not voting for Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang is not a native New Yorker, and I wouldn't want to put somebody in the seat of mayor who's not a native New Yorker and don't know New York. I'm not a native New Yorker. I wouldn't want to run for mayor of this town. I'm not supporting him. He figured he can use the presidential race to get him some name recognition so he can take over New York. Andrew Yang will probably be the type of person that probably would side with this. Well, we got to protect our fine NYPD officers. Got no problem with NYPD police department. I got a problem with certain race soldiers or bigots in NYPD exerting their rights and drooling to have legislation like this in New York. Drooling. Rubbing their nipple. Oh, I wish we had a law like that. Oh. Anyway, I'm done. We have a constitution, folks. Now, you got people standing up for Trump, claim to be patriots, and they're operating in the Constitution when they're not. They're just sycophants trying to please Trump, calling themselves patriot. But a true patriot will uphold the Constitution. And you guys are patriots. You don't let black people, you don't let these white biggest legislators just pass this stuff. And the media need to be ashamed. And guys, sometimes you got to take time out to go. Watch this stuff on TV. I'm quite sure they're showing in the legislative body on your local or your state access channel on cable. You guys should be outraged. Every black person should be, it should be just as many people out at the City Hall of Louisville and at the state capitol protesting this. The question is, are you? So I only can report it, but you got to go handle that. Send me videos, give me testimony, but I don't live in Louisville. You do. Handle that. Don't let that slide. I'm not telling you to storm the Capitol. Don't breach anything, but you have a right to be at the stairs and protest. You have the right to be on a public sidewalk in front of the building and protest. You have a right to do sit-ins and shut-ins, be willing to go to jail for it. You have the right to do some divestments and some cutting off. That's what you should do. Stop spending your money downtown and go to your neighborhood. Spend money there. Guys, this is a shame. It is a tragedy. It's insulting. Even if I don't live in Louisville, this thing will try to spread if they actually pass this thing, because people in different states, especially in the police department, they would love to have a legislator look out for them like that. Dude, this ain't y'all. This is against the Constitution, which you swore to uphold as an officer. Uphold it. You should be shaming this instead of celebrating this. I'm Robert Brown, Bob TV with the Bobby Brown Show. I'll holler at you later. Peace.